Hello everyone, how are you? In front of you is an amphibious ship called the USS Boxer, carrying a number of Marines or Special US Forces heading to the Middle East, and it's about to reach its target. So the question is, what is this? Is Donald Trump going to deploy ground forces? And if so, for what purpose? Will they attack Iran? Will they reclaim the Iranian island? The truth is, the site Axis revealed this point and noted that Trump is trying to take control of an island outside Iran, or blockade it, which is a very significant development. In fact, this news is catastrophic, literally catastrophic in all its details. Don't think that U.S. ground forces landing on an Iranian island is a limited action. We are talking about a very dangerous escalation in the war. On the other hand, Iran has struck the port of Yanbu. This port is currently the only one that Saudi Arabia uses to export its crude oil. After Iran blocked the Strait of Hormuz and attacked Gulf oil and gas fields, Yanbu has become the main port that Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states heavily rely on for oil exports. So when Iran attacks Yanbu, this is a very serious escalation. An article was released discussing Saudi Arabia's perspective on this war, how Saudi Arabia plans to handle the situation. According to sources, this is not an analytical article, but rather a news report based on statements from officials, outlining Saudi Arabia's view on the war. This episode is crucial because it contains very dangerous details concerning Saudi Arabia specifically, and its strategy in managing the confrontation with Iran. At the same time, it reveals what Donald Trump could do to significantly influence the course of the war. Before we dive into the details, let me tell you we have a very strong and respected sponsor. There has been a huge demand recently in the Galala area in Ain Sokhna, with massive projects undertaken by the government with multiple companies. More investments will happen in Galala soon. Today, the company Better House is offering an exclusive deal for a limited number of units in a resort in Galala, with a 3% down payment and installments starting from 9,700 EGP over 10 years, plus a reservation form of 50,000 EGP. The resort includes various apartments and townhouses with sizes starting from 65 square meters up to 105 square meters, and larger units are available. Galala is in continuous growth and expansion, offering high investment potential, with panoramic views at 750 meters above sea level and moderate weather all year round. For more details, the link is below. Now back to the main topic. Regarding the attack on Yanbu, what exactly happened? As usual, Iran started violating the scorched earth policy. According to a Saudi official, the Saudis told the Iranians they would not allow the U.S. to use their airspace or ports to strike Iran. However, the Iranians surprised the Saudis by responding that if they felt threatened, they would implement a scorched earth policy themselves, igniting everything, not targeting Arab countries, but ensuring the U.S. pays a high price. This is a criminal strategy. Iran is creating chaos in the region, while from their perspective, they must strike the U.S. through its Gulf allies. Saudi Arabia's approach, according to the Financial Times, is facing a significant crisis. The last thing Saudi Arabia wanted was war. Historically, Saudi policy focused on investment, and now the war has disrupted plans, leading to discussions about delaying Vision 2030. The Public Investment Fund, managing assets over $900 billion, is reducing ambitions and prioritizing expenditures. The situation indicates the war did not follow Saudi plans and caught them by surprise. Even if Saudi Arabia announced the war, it was not expected to last this long. This is only the first month, making it very serious. Saudi Arabia is considering 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, avoiding the war. This is the least risky approach. The Saudis aim to minimize losses and avoid engaging directly, letting the Americans and Saudi forces bear the brunt. The risk is that American support is not guaranteed, especially for air defense and ammunition supply. If Saudi Arabia enters the war, it may escalate into a religious conflict with Iran focusing attacks heavily on Saudi targets. Also, groups like the Houthis have not yet fully engaged, which favors Saudi caution. Scenario 2. Direct involvement. Joining the war to strike Iran directly. This could lead to faster victories and greater territorial gains, but also significantly increases risk. Iran's counterattacks on oil ports and refineries could cause massive civilian and military losses, difficult to recover from in a short period. Saudi Arabia would be directly involved in policy decisions alongside the US and Israel. Scenario 3. Mediation, preferred by Saudi officials, using strong intermediaries such as China, Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey to contain Iran. Mediation aims to prevent full-scale war, maintain stability, and limit Iran's aggressive actions. Iran sees itself as benefiting despite some losses. They view the war as an opportunity to unify the Iranian people and strengthen their regime. They also believe that every payment the US forces them to make strengthens Iran's position. From Iran's perspective, the war could replicate historical unifying scenarios like the Iraq War, where external threats consolidated internal power. Donald Trump's approach shows divergence from Netanyahu. Trump intends to blockade or control an island outside Iran, Kharg Island, which accounts for 90% of Iran's oil exports. Trump avoids attacking Iranian tankers directly to prevent Gulf water contamination and rising oil prices, while also sending an indirect message to China. His plan may include negotiation, occupying Kharg Island to pressure Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Netanyahu, in contrast, seeks to destroy Iran's oil and gas infrastructure. Trump's plan avoids direct destruction to prevent Iranian retaliation against other countries. The situation is extremely tense. If Iran retaliates against Gulf states, Trump may strike Iranian oil and gas facilities, maintaining a balance. Iran aims to prevent exporting its oil while ensuring no other regional country can do so, creating global energy pressure. Iran's ability to respond to threats against Israel is now limited. Qatar has lost 17% of its export capacity due to Iranian attacks. Kuwait, Oman, and the UAE are also under continuous threat, with missiles targeting these countries. The war is becoming increasingly complex and out of control. David Ignatius noted that Trump started the war, but is now escalating by considering deploying ground troops. Trump has criticized Biden and Bush for their handling of conflicts, emphasizing the use of special forces to occupy parts of Iran, even if small islands. Saudi Arabia is analyzing all options, knowing that each has significant drawbacks. Iran will remain aggressive, potentially expanding its terror operations. Gulf states' best scenario remains mediation, where intermediaries can ensure some control over Iran's behavior. This is a simplified summary of the situation. Egypt, the Arab world, and Palestine are all impacted. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.